BBC News at midday. The government says it hopes to move 500 asylum seekers to an accommodation barge docked in Dorset by the end of the week. The first group of male migrants is expected to be taken to the Bibby Stockholm today. They'll be housed there while they await the outcome of their asylum claims. There have been concerns about the living conditions on the vessel, but the government insists it's safe. Our West of England correspondent Dan Johnson is in Portland.
There have been delays because of concerns about fire safety, other health and safety issues that occurred and had to be dealt with. But now sources are suggesting that everything is ready. And we know some asylum seekers have received letters telling them that they'll be on the move today. The government's under pressure to make this work. It's made a priority of putting a tougher line in place on immigration and stopping migrants crossing the channel on small boats.
There are growing calls for people who've been charged for prison living costs after being granted compensation for wrongly convictions to receive refunds. The government scrapped the rule yesterday after Andrew Malkinson raised the issue when his rape conviction was overturned, but ministers said it would not apply retrospectively. Matt Foote is the co-director of Appeal, the charity which got Andrew Malkinson's conviction overturned. He says the compensation system isn't working.
We have a brutal compensation scheme in this country, absolutely brutal. 350 applications have been made pretty much over the last 5 years. Only 13 people have got compensation. People might be shocked to understand that it's extremely difficult to win a case at the Court of Appeal. The system doesn't like to admit it's got it wrong.
New inquests are to be held into the murders of 5 Catholic men in County Tyrone during the Troubles. They were killed by the paramilitary group the Ulster Volunteer Force in 4 separate attacks between 1988 and 1991. The Attorney General for Northern Ireland, Dame Brenda King, said there were deficiencies in the original investigations and inquests. Mali says it will send a joint delegation with Burkina Faso to Niger to express their solidarity with the military leaders who seized power in a coup. The military junta said it had closed Niger's airspace and was preparing to defend its territory after it defied an ultimatum to reinstate the elected president or face armed intervention. Our Africa regional editor Richard Hamilton reports.
The Malian army said that Burkina Faso and Mali were sending a delegation to Niger's capital Niamey, in its words, to demonstrate the solidarity of the two countries with the brotherly people of Niger. The delegation is expected to arrive later today. On Sunday, the coup leaders defied a deadline from the regional bloc ECOWAS to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum or face possible military action. Mali and Burkina Faso warned in a joint statement that they would consider any military intervention as a declaration of war.
Thousands of teenagers attending the World Scout Jamboree in South Korea are leaving the site early because of an incoming typhoon. The organisers say the government told them it was no longer safe to hold the event. Over the weekend, 4,500 British Scouts were relocated to hotels in the capital, Seoul, because of concerns about excessive heat and allegedly poor sanitary conditions. And England are through to the quarterfinals of the Women's World Cup after beating Nigeria 4-2 on penalties. Chloe Kelly scored the winning spot kick. Vicky Sparks described the winning moment for BBC Radio 5 Live.
It's Kelly! It's brilliant! She's done it again! Chloe Kelly, the woman of the moment once more! And England have survived the almightiest scare at the Women's World Cup! The Lionesses are through to the quarter-finals!
BBC News.
This is BBC Radio 4, where it's time now for You and Yours with Winifred Robinson.
Hello, welcome to Radio 4's consumer programme today. Asda is the first of the big four supermarkets to publish its petrol and diesel prices online. But will it lead to cheaper fuel? We'll hear how some music festivals are trying to be more sustainable, including eco-toilets that use sawdust instead of chemicals.
I expected more than a hay bale. Yeah. I mean, it stinks, to be fair, but at least they're not pumping all those blue chemicals into everything and all that kind of stuff.
And why are loads of sweet shops springing up on London's prime retail street?
Look at this really cheap signage, tatty-looking offering inside. This is not adding to the attraction of Oxford Street.
And it isn't just happening in London, is it happening where you live? Are you seeing loads of sweet shops opening up on your high street? Get in touch with us, email you and yours at bbc.co.uk. You can tweet us, #you and yours, or you can text 84844. The housing market is starting to cool from the boom we saw in the pandemic with the race for space and the temporary cut in stamp duty. Prices have fallen by 2